Derby Day, proudly brought to you by Tui's New, official sponsor of the 2001 Melbourne Cup. L'Oreal Paris. AXA. Harvey Norman. And the new Subaru Impreza WRX.
From our earliest years, the Melbourne Cup has become the heart and soul of our nation.
All set for the Cup. Gates crash back, and they're off and racing to an almighty roar.
For many, it is 3 minutes of emotion that unites Australia like no other.
Central sprints, running on now was Brew. Further out, Calfstad way and Yippee-Yo-Yo. Second coming, 300 to go, led by a length.
For a chosen few, it is the journey of a lifetime.
Yippee-Yo-Yo. It's Brew going to the left with 150 left to go on the Cup. Drew 2 lengths in front now. He's drawing clear of Yippee-Yo-Yo and Brew down to the post.
Welcome to the world's greatest 2 miles. This week, the race that stops a nation will be felt around the world as the pursuit of the Golden Chalice reaches new heights.
Mate, it's unbelievable. I just won the Melbourne Cup.
The colour, the excitement, the passion.
With my beautiful wife and children home watching, I love you all, and we done it. Woo! Good on you, Grizzly.
From the legends of the turf to the stars of the future. From the names on our lips to those who shall never be forgotten. Flemington on the first Tuesday in November is pure magic.
Doremus is coming at him. Doremus after Maiden Power. Maiden Power and Doremus, they in it. Oh, it's close. Doremus runs. He's hung on. Maiden Power's won at number 3.
What a great finish. That is one of the great finishes in Melbourne Cup history.
This week, a new prayer will be answered, and dreams will come true once again. Welcome to the 2001 Melbourne Cup Carnival.
Over the past month, Melbourne's Spring Racing Carnival has been building towards this week, this very special week. Now the World of Racing stage is right here, the Mounting Yard at Flemington. It will witness dreams come true, high drama, bitter disappointment, sheer joy, and of course, thoroughbred racing history. Hello everyone, I'm Tim Webster. Welcome to Network 10's coverage of the Melbourne Cup Carnival. Over the next week, we're privileged to bring to viewers throughout Australia and around the world the best racing you will see. In 3 days' time, it's the Tui's New Melbourne Cup. It'll be seen in 160 countries and territories across the globe. But today, Amy Victoria Derby Day, and even now, we welcome viewers in North America to our coverage. You'll see great racing, colour, excitement in this stunning week of the Melbourne Cup Carnival. But of course, it's a lot more than just racing. This week, Melbourne goes on parade. It's a parade of celebrities, personalities, characters, and it's a social whirl. Here is the leading trainer of our social whirl. Good morning, Sandra Sully.
Good morning to you, Tim, and good morning to everyone. Yes, indeed, this is a week I've grown to love and enjoy over the past few years. In fact, the Melbourne Cup Carnival provides all Melburnians, and indeed all Australians, with the perfect platform to play. I guess in light of recent tragic events, it will also be a timely distraction, a chance for many of us to put our worries and fears to one side and do what Australians do best, enjoy life and the company of good friends. Over the next week, I'll be joined by an array of guests and celebrities here at the Channel 10 marquee in the members' car park at Flemington. And on Amy Victoria Derby Day, two of those guests will include David Wenham and Tina Arena, just to name a few. This is a week when the highly fashionable folk step out and share the stage with the thoroughbreds. And as always, right in the middle of that parade and looking highly fashionable herself, Lynn Talbot.
Good morning, Sandra. Yes, you're quite right. This is the week to enjoy yourself regardless of the circumstances. I certainly will be. I'll be spending a lot of time here in the L'Oreal Paris Powder Room, where we will see some of Melbourne's fashionable fillies file through over the course of the carnival. Also some of our international and interstate guests. We can look forward to two fashion competitions. For you at home, we have our Derby Day feature designer competition where you can win some fabulous prizes. We'll tell you all about that one a bit later through the course of the day. But here at Flemington, we have our Myer Fashions on the Field competition, worth over $130,000 this year. And for the first time, the men get involved. We have our first Myer Men's Classic Racewear. Looking forward to that. And a beautiful day weather-wise. Where are you, Tim Bailey?
Lynn, I love Melbourne and I love this week, one of the finest in Australian sport. The roses are blooming, the fine women are stepping out, and many a young man's thoughts turn to the weather, and we don't have any concerns at all there. What we'll do is tilt the camera up that away, and as you can see, beautiful and blue, and that will do. The official forecast for Melbourne today, an afternoon sea breeze, fine and sunny, and 23 degrees. Now today, I'll be catching up with some people who on Tuesday, after the running of the TUI's new Melbourne Cup, will be among 24 contestants, one of whom will win $1 million. Now that's not a chance to win $1 million, that is a guaranteed win live on television of $1 million. And this will be the shaky hand giving somebody the cheque. We look forward to that, but right now, time to head over to our racing experts, the leader of which is Peter Donegan. And there's no pressure on Pete, relax, no pressure on, just first past the post, please.
Hopefully on more than one occasion, Tim Bailey. Good morning, everyone. Yes, winners are going to be hard to find because today is a day of quality. Amy Victoria Derby Day. Of all the thousands of race meetings that are run throughout the year, of all the tens of thousands of races, this is the day that we all look forward to. And it kicks off a fantastic week at Flemington. Amy Victoria Derby Day, just one of 3 Group 1 races today. Then we're on air with our Melbourne Cup preview tomorrow, followed by TUI's new Melbourne Cup Day on Tuesday, Crown Oaks on Thursday, Emirates Stakes Day on Saturday. It is the greatest week of racing anywhere in the world, and today is the day we've been waiting for.
Derby Day, the greatest day of racing on the Australian turf calendar.
Selected front falls the shadow. Universal Prince back on the rails, but hit the roof, dash clear.
Today, the stars of the turf step out in the pursuit of Group 1 glory. From the speed in the Salinger.
It's Easy Rocky in front, getting near the post. I think Easy Rocking from Umrah.
To the magic of the McKinnon.
Stretch through on the inside, and Oliver Twist is going to win the McKinnon by half a length.
And of course, the daring in the Derby.
Scalado, Universal Prince, and falls the shadow, but it's hit the roof. Hit the roof, wins the Derby by 3 lengths.
From the marquees to the mounting yards, welcome to fabulous Flemington. This is the 2001 Melbourne Cup Carnival, live and exclusive to Network 10.
Yes, what a day and what a panel I have assembled to find the winners of not only those big races but the 9 races here at Flemington on Amy Victoria Derby Day 2001. It is a delight to be reunited with them once again. Jenny Chapman, Simon Marshall, John Letts, good morning to you all.
Good morning, Pete.
Morning, Peter.
Morning, Pete.
You could do it in sync if you like, Lettsy. We've been doing this for 9 years.
Actually, Pete, what I was doing, I was reading something in the race book here. Was the
what's that?
Our national anthem. I didn't really know all the words till I'd read it in the book here.
Really?
There's another verse
Well,
after this.
There you go. He's the only one in Australia who didn't know the words. Jen, let's talk racing. Derby Day, it doesn't get any less exciting every year, does it?
Oh, look, it's a fantastic day too, Pete. Look at the weather behind me here. It's just great to kick off the carnival with.
Simon Marshall, you've been involved in the carnival leading up to this day. There's been a fair share of controversy. Let's hope we don't have quite as much controversy this week.
No, not at all. What a fantastic build-up it's been, Peter. Normally we think of Bar Cummings this time of the year, Melbourne Cup, but unfortunately it mightn't look as though we get a runner in the Melbourne Cup this year. We'll have to wait after the Saab Quality today, but he's going to looks as though he's going to control the Derby with a fantastic horse out of Let's Elope, his mum, by the name of Ustinov. He's the favourite, and I like him, Pete.
Yeah, we'll be talking more about the Derby a little bit later on. And let's see, you might be able to sing the national anthem to banjo because you're reunited again. What's this, the 9th Cup you're doing together?
I think it's the 9th, Pete, yes, and we've had a lot of fun over the years. It's been great, hasn't it? And you go out on a day like today, the first day of the carnival, and every race is a group race. Is that anywhere else in the world?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Just marvellous.
I think Frankie Dettori rode the card one day. They were group races, weren't they? Full group ones. Full group ones.
Maybe the Breeders' Cup meeting, but this is the day that we love here in Australia. And all important is the track condition. Now, I can tell you it is a beautiful day today, but there has been a fair bit of rain in Melbourne throughout the week. So let's find out what the track is going to be like. Here is the man who'll be behind the binoculars all throughout the week. Dan Malicki, good morning to you.
Thank you, Peter. Good morning to you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it is a beautiful day. Everything that Tim Bailey outlined to us not only earlier, but yesterday as well. It is a picture-perfect day. Light breeze, but it's probably going to be wind assisting. Might run into it along the back up towards about the 1400. But it's a day that they might run track records. It's officially rated as good, but it'd be closer to fast, I would expect. The rail is out 2 metres, so only 2 metres. It makes virtually no difference. The penetrometer reading, 3.55 for the overall track. And up the straight 6, the inside is 3.59 and the outside is 3.45. So they're really good figures. Figures that I would expect will see fast times, and if the horses are good enough, they might be able to set new marks. It's one of the best and driest tracks that we've had for quite some time, particularly carnival time. So the track officially rated as good. Forget the W's, they are going to mean nothing today. And Pete, a little bit like last year and the year before, there are umbrellas here, but they're only for one purpose, and that's to shield the sun this time.
Yes, well, you keep the factor 15 or the factor 30 on down there. Dan Malicki, who'll be joining us right throughout the carnival with his inimitable race calls. And Jen, speaking of the condition of the track, we walked the track out here yesterday, and we both walked on, and within 5 seconds said, wow, this is pretty solid.
It sure was, Peter, and probably particularly on the outside. Very hard to tell the difference, of course, but there was a very strong wind blowing as well. And I think that'll make a difference, and yeah, rock hard track today.
Okay, well, you three think you're here for your tipping ability and for your good looks, but I'm going to put you to work as well, because we started a tradition last year. I get tired scratching all these horses, so you can scratch a few of them.
Okay.
Jen?
Race 1, take out Mr. Trickster, number 4, and also number 10, Ace Tate.
Acetate, yeah, out of the first, the second. Well, Simon Marshall, you don't have to worry because there's none out of race 2, so we'll pass on you. Let's see, the third.
I bet you give me something I can't spell. Race 3, out is 5 Magneto, along with Break the Bank, which is number 20.
Yep.
The Second Emergency, and 21, which is Dame Kath.
Okay, race 4 on the card is the Hardy Brothers Classic, Jen.
Okay, take out number 17, Serious Drink. Take out number 18, Miss Zoe, the Second Emergency, and also take out number 19, One Under.
Okay, now, Simon, your first opportunity to scratch a couple.
This sounds like a bit of a line here, folks. Race 5.
Yes,
Anytime Angel, what about a crazy day? I mean, Johnny?
Yeah, there's the Quinella.
Sounds like a good idea, Simon.
No one out of the Derby, let's see, so that's good, a field of 12. Jennifer, race 7 on the card is the Thrifty McKinnon Stakes.
Yes, race 7, take out Sudoku, and he is number... I can't find him in my book.
Yeah, in fact, we'll check on that because the scratching is number 13, and that is Tempest Morn.
Yes.
In race 7, number 13, Tempest Morn is out.
That. I thought Tempest Morn had a good chance.
What about race 8 on the card, the Salinger Stakes, Simon?
Tears Royal will take out Pete the 15, and we'll also take the Emergencies. Arabia and Runs to Win will come out.
Okay, I think you've jumped ahead there. So it's Windigo, 8/8, and Scenic Peak. So the scratchings, I think I better take this back over again. 5, 18 and 19, and from the last, as Simon said. Let's see, do you want to repeat it?
Let me wind it up, Pete. Number 15, Tears Royale. 18 Arabia, and 19 runs to win. The third emergency.
Beautifully done. I think not. Let's hope for an improvement on Tuesday. Well, one man who's been up bright and early this morning, and if I know him, he's been driving everyone mad since about 5 o'clock, is joining us down in the famous old member stand. He'll be chatting to many of the connections today, and he spoke to some of the connections at Trackwork this morning. Mark Aston, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Peter. Good morning, panel, and good morning to everyone watching our telecast around Australia. As you mentioned, Peter, I'm in the grandstand here, which is where the owners and trainers watch their races. And I must admit, we've been doing this over the last couple of years. It's been fantastic because we speak to the owners, particularly the owners up here, after a race, and we really capture the emotion, and that's what we like doing here at Network 10. So we will be doing that right throughout the afternoon and, of course, right throughout the 4-day carnival. I wanted to thank John Letts too, by the way, for putting my name forward for Trackwork this morning. Lettsy, 5:30 I was up this morning. Did you hear that?
I heard it.
5:30. I was lucky enough to see Ustinov go through his final preparation for the Derby. Bart Cummings suggested that he has had a terrific week. He's very, very confident, but as you all know, Bart doesn't give too much away. Johnny Hawkes didn't have a chat to us. He was busy, but Wayne Hawkes, who is the foreman and the son of John Hawkes, who of course trains Viscount, he suggested that Viscount is going very, very well this week, and he's very, very confident. So I guess the question is, if they are the two keys, and we think they are for the Derby, whether or not Bart Cummings will win his 6th or whether Johnny Hawkes will win his 3rd. And I reckon he won his first in 75. Let's see, you rode Galena Boy, and I know it was a terrific ride because you kept telling me.
Yes, 1975 it was too, Galena Boy.
75, when you think back, 75, and that was when Johnny Hawkes was more or less just starting out, and gee, hasn't he gone a long way since?
And 23 years later he won his 2nd Derby with Arena.
I think that's when
right,
they just started using grease on the reins that year, didn't they?
I think they did, yeah. No, I spoke to the curator before the race. He said, what chance you got? I said, not a great deal. He said, the gates open there at the 600, or the 6 furlong post. You shoot across the middle, so we got across the right side without anyone seeing us.
Golden fingers, you let.
And the fantastic thing is that we have broken our Amy Derby Day record thanks to Mark Aston and John Letts. We're already 5 minutes late, so well done, Lettsy, and congratulations to Mark. Let's have a look at the totes for the Amy Victoria Derby, see what they've come up early. As you'd expect, Ustinov, the favourite, too short though, Jen, $1.70.
Well, he is too short, but he looks the obvious favourite too, Peter, doesn't he?
Not at those odds, he's not.
No, we can't back him, really, can you?
Viscount, well, he's remarkable value, Simon.
Yeah, I think he is, Pete. Look, he was a horse that was unfortunately found a lot of trouble in the Cox Plate. He ran 3rd from a 3-year-old perspective. I thought he was set for that race. I think the reason why the Ustinov's shorter than Viscount is because that he's had the perfect preparation for the Derby.
Amalfi looks the 3rd pick, Sakan Demond, the Geelong Derby Trail winner, and then we'll go over the page and have a look at the other 4 runners. And you can see that the best of those is Pentastic, and that is number 9. All right, well, that's what the tote is doing. Let's have a look what the bookmakers are going to be doing, because this man, there is no question about it, he stands head and shoulders above every punter here at Flemington. Not because he's a good judge, because he's 6'8". Tim Gossage, good morning.
Good morning, Pete. Yes, I don't get any shorter, they tell me, in the bookmakers ring. Well, as you just saw from the tote odds, it's going to be the same down here in the ring in the Derby. This one here, of course, Ustinov. The tip is even money may be in the red when they jump in the Amy Victoria Derby. Of course, they're talking about it being a race in 3 with Viscount and Amalfi. No other horses under double figures in the bookmakers ring for the Derby, but Ustinov likely to be in the red as he is on the tote at the moment. As for the McKinnon Stakes, well, there's the extreme. It's an open race, 5 or 6 to 1 the field. Universal Prince and In a Flurry tipped to go out, probably equal favourites in that, about 5 or 6 to 1. Pete, at the moment, pretty quiet in the bookmakers ring, but I'm telling you later, it'll be hotting up, plenty of action down here and plenty of money.
Yeah, I think the calm before the storm. Tim Gossage down in the betting ring, who'll be keeping us up to date with all of the plunges and all of the activity down there today. The big race, the Amy Victoria Derby, the Magnificent Trophy, is in the studio with us. It's $5,000 worth. And wouldn't any owner love to have that on the mantelpiece? And that'll be decided a little bit later on this afternoon. We are off and running. When we come back, we'll preview the big races on the first day of the Melbourne Cup Carnival 2001. The beautiful roses, so much a part of the atmosphere here at Flemington, and yet again they've managed to get them to bloom right at the right time. And Flemington today looks a picture on this first day of the Melbourne Cup Carnival 2001. Well, the Saab Quality is one of the interesting races today, Jen, because quite a few of these are on their last chance to get into the Melbourne Cup field. One of them is Sale of Century. We're going to have a look at his run in the Caulfield Cup, beginning with the start, and that's where he lost his chance.
Yes, he did. You'll see him here in barrier 14. He just jumps up at the start of the race and misses it. And with this horse, he's very, very much a one-pacer as well. He gets over to the fence, so that was probably in his favour, Peter. And he went, you know, quite well, making up a bit of ground towards the end of the race. But you'll see him run on here. I thought it was a good effort.
You know, the only thing that worried me about his run, he couldn't get past in a flurry, and she was entitled to run 27.
Well, absolutely, that's true. But I think he's probably looking for, you know, the 3,200, and of course he's a horse that needs pace on as well.
Yeah, and bigger track at Flemington's definitely going to suit him. Home track here, and you can see him getting home probably about 5 or 6 lengths behind the winner there in the Caulfield Cup. Now, the Geelong Cup, Simon, is a very interesting form race, and there's a horse in this race that ran 16th, and I reckon he might win today. Touch the Groom.
Yeah, look, he's obviously a great chance. There's a big tip on Touch the Groom on course too, Pete, and he was very unlucky here, as you'll see here, pointed out the left diamond there. Touch the Groom just had no luck getting to the line. May the Horse Be With You's in the purple colours, the white stars, just hits the front from Karasi, who fights back and wins on the inside there from the David Hall stable, but Touch the Groom never went around. All reports he licked his bin out that night, Letzi, and he'll be hard to beat today.
He will be. You never had any luck, Simon, and you know yourself in those sort of races. You finish 4 lengths behind the winner, and you come out on a big track and you have a good run, you can win. And he's actually the sleeper really in the Melbourne Cup at the moment. If he gets a run, he's a horse that everyone wants to be on.
And trained by a bloke called GM Hanlon, who can train Melbourne Cup winners as well. Let's have a look at the selections, Jen, starting off with you, the Subaru selections.
All right, well, I'm going for number 3, Primrose Sands. I think from barrier 1 she'll go forward, and I think she'll be very hard to beat here from number 14, Just Honour, and a roughie, number 13, Yuppie.
Touch the Groom from you, Simon?
Yeah, sticking with Touch the Groom, Pete. This horse has got great form here at Flemington, and all the reasons that Jen said from barrier 3, get the gun run.
Oh, let's see. Looks as though the boys are in agreement with Touch the Groom.
We're going to have it running favourite, Pete, I reckon, the way we're going, won't we?
Probably.
Yeah, it's run 16th last start, it's going to run favourite.
Yeah. All right, well, that is the Saab Quality. And as we said, many of the Melbourne Cup horses with their last attempt. Well, the fillies go into the Oak Stakes through the Qantas Wakeful Stakes today, and always a good guide is the 1,000 Guineas Magical Miss, trained by JB Cummings. She's quality.
She is quality, and you can take a look at her here. There was quite a number of these horses contesting in the Wakeful today, running in the 1,000 Guineas. Lilo Lil being one of them, Wano, I think Hosanna, and Moonflute as well. And she goes to the line very nicely here, Pete. She'll certainly be hard to beat.
I thought the way she looked in the yard, she looked terrific that day, but I thought she looked a real staying type. Simon, what did you think?
Yeah, honestly, I was very happy with her when she ran behind Uga Chaka here at Flemington. She went to Caulfield. She obviously did a lot better underneath Bart Cummings there. And it was the way she relaxed. Here's Uga Chaka winning at Flemington in the Edward Manifold Stakes.
And that's Magical Miss on the left in the white cap getting home too.
That's right, Pete. Now, look, Uga Chaka had the gun run this day. Damien Oliver to ride. He just dictated the race just off the speed. You watch Magical Miss just learning what it's all about. She gives them a bit of a start in her races, but she's learned how to race now, learned how to win last start, so she'll be very hard to beat at Flemington today.
Let's see, just one question before we have a look at the selections. Do you think Uga Chaka might be a little bit brilliant going towards a race like the Oaks, whereas Magical Miss is more a staying type?
Well, Bart trains his horses that way, as you know, and he looks at these races from a long way off. And Magical Miss, she's set for the race. She's drawn barrier 18. That's the only thing. That's the only downer in her that I can find is the 18 barrier, and she's going to need a bit of luck because you know yourself, Simon. Even from the 18 gate to 2,000 metres, if you get caught around that big corner, it's hard to get in, isn't it? No one's going to let you in. So she's just got to have a lot of luck. But I'm like Simon. She was just learning how to race, and she's a lot better today.
Yeah. What about the selections from the panel on the Qantas Wakeful Stakes Race 5? Ladies first, Jennifer?
I like number 5, Lilo Lil here. She won the Size Produce over the 1,600 metres a while back, and I think she's going very well.
And as we've heard from both Johnny and Simon, their reasons for Magical Miss, I've gone for Menang, the Freedman filly. I think she's particularly smart, and I think she'll be hard to beat when they get to the Oaks here, the Crown Oaks, on Thursday. So there are the first 2 of the big races. Well, they're all big races on the Derby card today, but when we come back to Flemington, we'll preview the Amy Victoria Derby of 2001. you are watching throughout Australia, throughout the United States, or many parts of the world, welcome to our coverage of the 2001 Melbourne Cup Carnival. It's Amy Victoria Derby Day. Time to have a look at the big race itself. We're going to have a look at the Cox Plate, and we're going to see this from a couple of different angles. Simon Marshall, this was frightening from a jockey's point of view, surely.
It was for Kerrin McEvoy in the all-cerise colours there. You see Greg Childs on the champion mare Sunline. He shifted out initially, which then Kerrin came out with him, as you'll see. Sunline shifting out. Now you see Kerrin McEvoy just steering Viscount's head out. That's to get away from Sunline, to give himself a little bit more galloping room. Here comes the champ from WA, Northerly, Crunch. Straight into Viscount there. Damien's holding his ground. You see Sunline continuing to shift out. Ooh. And then Viscount puts pressure on Sunline's hindquarters, which turns her shoulders out. Now, on that occasion, the 3-year-old did get hammered quite a bit there, Let's. He got knocked around. It was against the country's greatest weight for age horses over 2,000 metres. Now, he was a 3-year-old with 48.5 kilos on his back. The big question is, can he back up today and run the 2,500 metres? Octagonal tried to do it and he couldn't. Nothing like a Dame beat him. Now, Octagonal won the Cox Plate. What do you think?
I think he can butter up, but I do think Ustinov's the horse that's had the softer run the other day, Simon, and I do think that he's the one to beat, definitely the one to beat. But just how lucky was that horse not clipping heels and falling?
Absolutely.
It would have been incredible. It would have been an incredible fall to see that.
It's a good bit of biffo. What would you have said if you were Kerrin back in beside Greg and Damien?
Is there much swearing that
Excuse me, boys, I'm still in here.
A little bit of How Now Brown Cow would have came out there, Let's sure.
I think they said to John Hawkes after the race, what are you feeling, Johnny? He said, you can't print what I'm feeling at the moment.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, we didn't catch up with John Hawkes, but his Melbourne stable foreman is Wayne Hawkes, who looks after the team down here, and Mark Oaston caught up with him at track work this morning.
Well, Wayne, are you and your dad happy with Viscount? Yeah, look, Mark, he's pulled up perfectly from the run. You know, he's hasn't left a note. His work's been spot on, and he looks fantastic. How are the nerves in the stable? Yeah, not too bad actually today. You know, I suppose not being smart, we've been there before, and we know what it's like, and you know what it takes. But I think as close as you get to the race, you get a little bit edgy when the pressure comes on, because you just want to making sure everything goes right. And Kerrin McEvoy and your instructions, can you just give us some indication as to what you'd like him to do? Look, you know, when the gates crash open, Kieran's going to be his own boss. It doesn't matter what you say in the mounting enclosure, he's going to be his own boss. And to be honest, he's going to have to sum it up after they go to the winning post and go out the straight for the first time. He's going to have to sum that up.
Wayne Hawkes from the Hawkes stable speaking at Flemington this morning. Jen, the horse that has come up favourite, Ustinov, wouldn't it be appropriate 10 years after Let's Melbourne Cup victory if this bloke won the Derby?
Yes, and let's just take a look at him too, Peter. This is at Moonee Valley. A terrific win here, a real good staying performance for a young horse. He's a magnificent individual, and Patrick Payne to ride. He's got those beautiful hands. He's done everything right. I just can't bag him. He's going to be very hard to beat.
The one thing I wrote in my race book when I looked at that replay was he relaxes.
He does, yes. There's no problem for his jockey there. You'd like to be on him, wouldn't you, boys?
Oh, you'd be sitting there all day, Jen. You'd be like you're at the bar there, Let's having a twoies.
Could you make the weight?
I'd have to go and see a good surgeon, actually. See if he can help me out there. But you'd definitely try and make the weight for Ustinov. But, you know, Patrick Payne understands his horse beautifully, and he's very much relaxed. But, you know, this horse has got great form over 1,200 metres at Group 1 level in the Ascot Vale Stakes. Not too many realise, but he